I saw Stephen A. Smith kind of talking shit.
I done told y'all that this is a shakedown of the highest order. And to be frank with you, I think that the entire legal team, what is his name, Busby, I think that they all need to be in.
The sports world is in shock tonight as new drama unfolds in the high-stakes courtroom battle involving Hall of Fame tight end turned broadcasting icon Shannon Sharpe. Just moments ago, the woman at the heart of the sexual assault lawsuit made a bold entrance into a downtown Atlanta press conference, and with cameras rolling, she delivered a blunt and unfiltered response to Sharpe's unexpected countersuit. While many anticipated more legal paperwork, few expected such a direct confrontation so early in the proceedings. "I'm letting all the successful black men out there know. They're coming for you through your," she stated, leaving the tension thick in the air. "Yeah, you got freaky better 'cause this is freaky," she said, her words sending a shockwave through the crowd. "Yeah, we've seen it all before, Michelle told us." The confrontation immediately ignited across every social media platform, turning what had been a simmering legal drama into headline news. But for those who might be just tuning in, let's take a quick step back. Late last year, the woman at the center of the lawsuit, a former fitness entrepreneur who has only been identified by her initials to protect her privacy, filed a civil suit accusing Shannon Sharpe of a pattern of intimidation and emotional distress during a brief period of interaction. The lawsuit centers around a brief relationship between the accuser and Sharpe in 2023. While Shannon Sharpe was initially seen by many as the victim of a false claim, voices like Stephen A. Smith also weighed in on the matter. The accuser's claim revolves around a single night in Miami, where she alleges that Sharpe engaged in coercive behavior she categorized as sexual assault. In response, Sharpe's legal team fiercely rejected the allegations, labeling the suit as a fabricated attempt to gain attention and promising a strong defense. The rumors quickly escalated into a full-blown storm just 2 days ago, when Shannon Sharpe's legal team filed a 64-page response. The document didn't just deny any wrongdoing. It went further, accusing the plaintiff of extortion, defamation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. In the midst of the chaos, one voice called out, "What are you doing? You've got no business out here with a 20-year-old white girl." The countersuit alleges that the plaintiff demanded a 7-figure payout to keep quiet before going public with her accusations. It also claims she leaked partial text conversations to bloggers and manipulated security footage to create a false narrative. In response, Sharpe is now pursuing damages that far exceed the original demand, along with sanctions for what his legal team describes as a deliberate attack on a public figure. Today's bombshell dropped just after 11 a.m. Eastern Time, when reporters gathered outside the Fulton County Courthouse. This entire spectacle seems to be orchestrated by Tony Busby, a lawyer known for targeting high-profile black men, including Jay-Z. Sharpe voiced his concerns, stating, "I believe he's planning to release a 30-second clip from a sex tape in an attempt to make me look guilty." What was expected to be a routine scheduling motion took an unexpected turn when the accuser arrived, accompanied by 2 attorneys and a crisis management expert. She spoke for almost 6 minutes, delivering a calm yet firm statement. Key takeaways. She denied ever asking for hush money, asserted that raw phone data would back up her timeline, and challenged Shannon Sharpe to release the full-length security footage he referenced in his countersuit. "I will not be silenced," she declared, locking eyes with the main network cameras. Inside the courthouse, both legal teams gathered with the presiding judge for an 85-minute pre-trial conference. Sources familiar with the case tell our newsroom that the court has set an expedited discovery schedule, requiring both parties to exchange digital records within the next 30 days and to appear for depositions by early July 20-year-old period. She continued, "There's nothing wrong with being a freak, but be a freak and make it make sense. This means that text message chains, ride-share logs, hotel key swipes, and surveillance footage are all likely to come into play." In a significant development, the judge denied Shannon Sharpe's request for a protective order that would have kept most of the evidence sealed from the public. The fallout in the industry was swift. ESPN chose not to comment, but sources indicate that producers held an urgent meeting with Shannon Sharpe's representatives and Disney's compliance team. Advertisers are now watching the situation closely. One insider weighed in, saying, "I do believe this is a shakedown. I agree Shannon is being targeted, but you can't shake someone down if they don't have anything to give. A spokesperson. From a prominent athletic apparel brand featuring Shannon Sharpe in their web promotions, confirmed they are closely monitoring the situation. Meanwhile, Fox Sports panelists engaged in discussions about whether Sharpe can continue on First Take if depositions expose damaging behavior, even if no criminal charges are filed. The mere speculation led to a 2-point drop in the network's morning share index. Public opinion remains divided. A YouGov Flash poll reveals that 46% of respondents believe Shannon Sharpe should step down from his on-air duties until the civil case is resolved. One commenter remarked, "What did she expect? Charging $25K for a session with no cheeks and no lips. She probably whistles when she talks." Meanwhile, 31% feel he should stay on air, citing the presumption of innocence, with the rest remaining undecided. This division mirrors the heated debates in the comment sections of Instagram and X, where fan pages clash over text message screenshots, some showing what seem to be consensual travel plans, while others appear to document desperate, late-night calls. The countersuit strategy is not without its risks. To succeed with defamation claims, Shannon Sharpe will need to prove that the statements made were both false and damaging to his reputation. As one observer pointed out, Shannon is 56 years old. There's no reason for a man in his mid-50s to be pursuing a 19-year-old. This comment further opens the door for Sharpe's private life to be examined under oath, potentially adding more complications to his defense. Veteran trial attorney Marissa Delgado shared with our outlet that the strategy is a gamble, betting that full transparency will clear Sharpe's name. However, Delgado cautions that transparency can work both ways. If any evidence of coercion is corroborated during discovery, the financial consequences could far outweigh any reputational harm already caused. From the accuser's side, there are claims that suggest deeper issues, with some even insinuating that their assertions are based on much more than what's been shared publicly. With more dimples than a golf ball, the goal now is to navigate the court of public opinion while gearing up for what her legal team dubs document dump season. Lead attorney Warren Ellis stated that they plan to subpoena production meetings from Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay Shay, arguing that the behind-the-scenes conversations will reveal a pattern of misogynistic behavior. Ellis also confirmed that they've reached out to witnesses who were present at a private after-party in South Beach on the night in question. "Why are you even involving yourself with OnlyFans girls, other than the fact that they're just hot?" one source remarked. "It's unbelievable. That's exactly what I mean when I refer to the kind of behavior I'm talking about. They'd be out of their minds to hook up with an OnlyFans girl, except for the fact that they're absolutely stunning," one insider commented. Several individuals reportedly have agreed to testify under seal. Behind the scenes, the NFL Players Association is closely tracking the situation, as Sharpe remains a member in good standing. A union official, speaking anonymously, noted that the outcome of this case could have implications for future personal conduct clauses in media contracts, signed by retired players. When legends transition into broadcasting, networks not only gain their brand power, but also the baggage that comes with it. "My legal team is advising me that we can't authenticate whether he actually said that, and he isn't denying it," one insider shared. The official added that if Sharpe comes out on top, there will likely be stronger calls for protections against what some consider opportunistic civil lawsuits. Adding complexity to the situation, women's advocacy groups are rallying in support. The Atlanta chapter of Stand Strong organized a candlelight vigil outside ESPN's regional office, urging the network to amplify the voices of survivors. Meanwhile, a grassroots group of former athletes has started the Born Protectoricons movement, advocating for stronger protections for public figures in similar situations. Critics argue that a 54-year-old with so much at stake should not be engaging with someone as young as 19. The case has sparked debate, with some asserting that high-profile figures are becoming prime targets for financial settlements. The simultaneous trending of both hashtags highlights the deep cultural divide in which this lawsuit is taking place. Financial experts are now adding their perspective to the conversation as well. Luke Harris, an expert at Apex Media Valuations, estimates Shannon Sharpe's brand value at $22 million spread across television, podcasting, and endorsements. However, Harris points out that a prolonged legal battle could potentially slash that value by as much as 40%, particularly if advertisers decide to pause their campaigns due to the controversy. Already, a wellness supplement company has discreetly removed pre-roll ads from Shannon Sharpe's YouTube channel, citing a shift in content strategy. This move alone could lead to a significant revenue dip, potentially costing six figures in quarterly earnings. Looking ahead, the next major event on the legal calendar is a June 12th evidentiary hearing, where the judge will decide on motions to compel both parties to provide metadata from their smartphones. Exactly, hooking up with an OnlyFans model comes with a high risk of public fallout, and it's almost a guarantee that the situation could escalate into a legal battle, given the nature of these platforms and the kind of attention they draw. As for Shannon Sharpe, the legal stakes are high. Experts note that metadata, including timestamps, geolocation pings, deleted message logs, and other digital footprints, are crucial in modern civil cases. If Sharpe's device supports his version of events, it could turn the tide in his favor. However, if the plaintiff's narrative aligns better with the data, it could give her case a significant advantage before any trial begins. The upcoming depositions are expected to be intense. Court reporters suggest that these sessions could span several days, with each side presenting a mountain of evidence: direct messages, rideshare receipts, hotel security footage, podcast production schedules, and even medical reports. Fans and the public are anxiously waiting to see how the legal drama unfolds as this battle moves forward. In this case, Shannon Sharpe is being accused of something serious, and because it's a civil case, both his legal team and the accuser's team can ask lots of questions. This means that a lot of personal stuff about Sharpe's life could come out, especially when he has to testify under oath. Even if some of the things he says are later taken out of context or edited, it could still make him look bad, affecting how people see him before the trial even happens. This situation really highlights how challenging it can be to navigate today's media landscape. Traditional media outlets, which have editorial standards and a fact-checking process, are doing their best to verify claims. But platforms like TikTok, which rely on algorithms, can easily spread rumors and unverified content. The video leak, from the Miami hotel in this case, is a perfect example of how misinformation can quickly go viral. It's unsettling because what may seem like solid proof to some can often be debunked with thorough investigation. Like in this case, where forensic analysts confirmed the footage was doctored. It's a reminder of how crucial it is to question the source and reliability of what we see online, especially when it comes to high-profile legal matters. Still, the clip amassed 3 million views in 4 hours before removal. Legal scholars argue that misinformation of this scale contained jury pools, raising the possibility of venue changes down the road. Meanwhile, Sharpe's on-air persona remains unchanged. This morning, he opened First Take with customary bravado, breaking down NBA playoff matchups and even dropping a cryptic line, "Pressure makes diamonds." If you're exploring the impact of public perception during high-profile legal cases, especially for celebrities, it's an interesting point that Sharpe's statement, "Pressure makes diamonds," can be seen as him trying to frame the situation in a positive light, suggesting that adversity only makes him stronger. Social media's interpretation of such moments can also play a huge role in shaping public opinion, especially when media companies decide whether or not to take action. In a world where reputations are often built on public perception, the stakes are incredibly high for both the accused and the accuser. Recently, beverage titan Vault Hydration made waves with a cautious statement in response to ongoing litigation, confirming that they are monitoring the situation but refraining from further comment. Translation: any campaigns featuring Sharpe are momentarily on hold. Similarly, a sneaker brand set to release an exclusive Club Shay Shay trainer next month is reportedly weighing a quiet delay. Retail experts acknowledge that even a minor postponement impacts the bottom line, but a poorly timed release can have far-reaching consequences for a brand's identity. Meanwhile, the accuser has engaged a team of digital forensic experts to substantiate her claims. Dr. Farah Nocha, the lead specialist, has confirmed that her team cloned 2 iPhones and a laptop from the plaintiff, preserving key evidence in line with federal protocol. Initial analysis reveals that both parties were present at the same VIP entrance of a Miami nightclub, contradicting Sharpe's claim in his countersuit. Should these findings be validated, they will undoubtedly play a central role in the legal proceedings. In a twist, former teammates are now entering the fray. One anonymous ex-Bronco shared that Sharpe, though known for his fiery personality, was also a figure of generosity. Sharpe's legal team, on the other hand, maintains that the accusations are maliciously false and has vowed to sue the accuser for defamation, framing their client as a complex individual rather than a saint. Sports psychologists, however, caution that public figures often lead dual lives, rigorous in their fitness routines, yet prone to private volatility. He returned to broadcasting with minimal fallout, but critics see that episode as a reminder of how swiftly reputations can unravel. This time, however, social media magnifies every rumor. Unlike a decade ago, public memory is now constantly refreshed by viral posts and reaction videos, creating a relentless cycle of speculation. The legal framework adds another layer of complexity. In Georgia, the law operates under a modified comparative fault standard for tort claims, meaning the plaintiff must prove the defendant is at least 51% responsible in order to collect damages. Sharpe's countersuit flips this on its head, positioning the accuser as the true wrongdoer. If the jury assigns the majority of fault to the accuser, Sharpe could not only avoid owing anything, but potentially walk away with a substantial judgment in his favor. However, legal experts caution that juries in metropolitan Atlanta often show sympathy toward plaintiffs in SA cases, making the outcome far from certain. On top of that, insurance issues are adding another twist. Sharpe is reportedly covered by a personal umbrella policy with a $10 million limit, but such policies often exclude coverage for intentional misconduct, particularly in intimate situations, leaving Sharpe's financial exposure in limbo should the case go against him. If Sharpe were to lose the case on sexual assault charges, it could spell trouble beyond the courtroom. His insurer might refuse to pay out, leaving him personally exposed to significant financial risk. On the flip side, the accuser's legal costs are partially covered by a third-party litigation fund, an industry on the rise where investors finance lawsuits in exchange for a cut of any damages awarded. This setup raises important questions about the profit-driven nature of both sides' legal battles. Meanwhile, data from the podcast analytics firm Metricast reveals an interesting trend. Downloads of Club Shay Shay have risen by 5% since the countersuit was filed. It seems that controversy continues to drive clicks, but there's a noticeable drop in the share of female listeners. This suggests that reputational damage is hitting Sharpe harder with women, a shift that advertisers, especially those targeting women ages 25 to 45, will likely consider as they weigh their decisions. Even if the overall numbers are strong, they may hesitate to align with a brand tainted by scandal. Crisis communication experts note that timing is crucial in these high-profile cases. The typical strategy is to release exonerating evidence in carefully timed bursts to steer the media narrative. However, the courts have imposed protective orders on the discovery materials, meaning Sharpe is limited in what he can publicly share. His legal team is pushing for a partial waiver, arguing that in today's media landscape, he needs to defend his reputation in real time. The judge will decide on this next week. If granted, expect a flood of documents, text messages, travel, receipts, and even surveillance footage designed to shift the conversation. Yet, there's another layer of complexity here: deep fake technology. Defense experts are concerned that any leaked video could be manipulated almost instantly, muddying the waters and casting doubt on genuine evidence. To combat this, Sharpe's team has enlisted a digital watermarking firm that uses blockchain timestamps to ensure the authenticity of any materials that surface. It's likely that the accuser's legal team will request similar verification processes, which could add to the already hefty cost of managing the case, but could bring much-needed clarity to whatever footage or documents emerge beyond the legal. And media spectacle. Ethicists are sounding alarms about the broader cultural implications of this case. While millions are fixated on the latest twist in the drama, real-world survivors of sexual assault often struggle to get the help they need, facing long wait lists for counseling and understaffed courts. Advocates hope that the intense media focus on this case will bring attention to these systemic gaps. But history suggests that media frenzies tend to fade without producing lasting change. Whether this case will break that cycle depends on how both Sharpe and the accuser use their platforms once the dust settles. In the world of sports media, the rivalry is also brewing. Sharpe's former debate partner, Skip Bayless, posted a cryptic message suggesting that leaving undisputed last year might now seem justified. Some fans interpret it as gloating, others see it as typical sports trash talk. Regardless of interpretation, rival shows are diving into the ethics of fandom, turning the controversy into another ratings opportunity. This meta-discussion feeds into the ongoing narrative, ensuring that even those not directly following the case are still absorbing the allegations, whether they want to or not. On a legislative front, a proposed federal bill known as the Online Defamation Accountability Act could have far-reaching implications for cases like Sharpe's. The bill aims to streamline the process of handling countersuits in interstate defamation cases. Both sides of the legal battle are using this case as a talking point in memos to lawmakers, framing it either as a need to protect individuals from false accusations or as evidence that powerful figures already have ample legal muscle. Capitol Hill staffers have confirmed that the case is being referenced in background briefings, signaling the potential for this issue to influence broader legal policy. Despite all the noise, there are still potential pathways to settlement, though trust seems to be in short supply. Sharpe's camp is holding firm on its demands: a public apology and a dismissal of the case with prejudice, terms the accuser rejects. She wants more than just personal vindication. She's calling for institutional accountability, perhaps even an on-air segment that highlights her advocacy work. With no mutual ground in sight, the case looks set to head to trial, a courtroom drama that could be broadcast live, turning the proceedings into a spectacle akin to the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial, with TikTok videos analyzing every objection and courtroom gesture. Ultimately, this case is a reminder that media headlines often oversimplify complex human situations. What began as a private encounter has spiraled into a multi-million-dollar battle over truth, power, and perception. Whether you support Sharpe, the accuser, or remain somewhere in between, the outcome will likely be decided by the evidence presented, not by memes or viral moments. In the age of social media, the line between reality and spectacle is increasingly blurred, and it's our responsibility to sift through the noise and focus on what's verifiable.